Morning world. Welcome to a new episode of the Brian Janu Show. As you already know, this is the video podcast edition of it. You go to my YouTube channel, Brian Janu Show, Janeau Show, and like the videos, comment, and also subscribe. If you like the videos, you might as well subscribe as well. And also 2 podcast episodes out this week. So on podcast platforms everywhere, Brian Janu Show, Janeau Show. So go and listen and enjoy those shows and those videos. And this is the 3rd of this week, so let's get it going. Last, okay, let me start off this way. I love sports. I enjoy sports. I love sports a lot. I even got a sports podcast with my guy Juan. So we are coming back soon. Don't worry about that. Jack's Wild coming back soon. But I don't think we talked about this. Either we did or we didn't. I can't remember. Maybe if after he sees this, maybe we could. I don't know. He'll talk about it. But I love sports. That's what I'm saying. I love all sports. I watch pretty much anything sports related. If I actually know, well, I could kind of still watch stuff if I really don't have no real feelings towards it. But I could watch tennis. I could watch, hockey. I could watch anything. But baseball. I used to play baseball when I was a kid. And Little League. And shout out to Gretna. Shout out to Gretna for Gretna Mets. That's what the team was called. Don't ask me why we were called Gretna Mets. Please don't ask me. So I have a love for baseball that maybe some people don't know. So I do remember us talking about, during the All-Star break, the All-Star weekend of baseball, we were talking about who is like the guy now, who's the guy now, right? In baseball that could become the face of the league. I remember this. And I think we were all like, oh, that's easy. This baseball player called Shohei Ohtani. And dude is what... I'm going to tell y'all the truth. If y'all never seen baseball, if you've never seen him play in particular, but you might have heard the name if you watch SportsCenter. You're like, who the hell is this kid? Who's this dude? He's what people keep telling you Babe Ruth was. Babe Ruth was not this. He wasn't a pitcher, and he wasn't a hitter like this at the same fucking time. That just wasn't the case. He was a hitter, but his pitching ERA is earned runs allowed was like maybe 3.29. That's not good. And he didn't really become like the hitter that we know, like the Babe Ruth that had the home run derby, the home run record, until he was moved out of pitching, moved to first base when he got traded from the Red Sox to the Yankees. So, and he didn't pitch no more. He pitched one time for the Yankees, and that was it. This man, Shohei Ohtani, is having 10K, like striking out 10 people per game type of shit, barely letting people get on base. And then he's leading the league. I think he's still leading the league in home runs. He's got 40 home runs. This dude is striking people out and got 40 home runs. There's no way in hell. And he does it in the American League. If you know anything about the American League, that's where you got a designated hitter. You don't really like in a National League, your pitcher has to hit the ball. So for a pitcher to be hitting in the AL when he really doesn't have to, that shit's incredible. So to lead the league pretty much in home runs, 40, that's crazy. But anyway, so it goes to what it is now. So I think he's the face of the league. I think people continue to say He's the modern day Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth wasn't like this. Like, he wasn't pitching and hitting like this. He just wasn't. And it's not the hitting, because Babe Ruth was hitting, but it was the pitching. The pitching is now where Shohei is just like on a different level. Dude is striking people out. He had like 8K. He had like 8 strikeouts last night, I think, against Detroit. So, dude's different. Like, just let it be. He's the first ever baseball player to be, selected to 2 positions in the All-Star game. Like, he got selected to be, I think, an outfielder, also a pitcher. So that tells you enough about this kid. Now, here's my problem. So Stephen A. Smith said something before the All-Star break. This is where I go back. He said something about Shohei Ohtani. I think he was like, he can't be the face of the league because he don't speak English. And that went crazy. That went everywhere. People lost their goddamn minds, and that was pretty obvious. And they was like on his ass for like 2-3 days about that, because it's like, bro, why would you say that? Like, now, Shohei Ohtani, of course, the name and everything, he's not from America. He's Japan, I think. He's Japanese. I think he's Japanese. And sorry, I'm just saying, but yeah, he's Japanese. So he is right now one of the best baseball players in the league. And so when Stephen A. said that, people got on his ass about it. It was like, yo, why you would say some shit like that? And I'm saying that to say this. So I think last night or the night before, the Detroit Tigers, they were playing Detroit Tigers, of course, and I think the announcer for the Detroit Tigers was like talking about Shohei, and he had made a joke again about like how he can't speak English, like he can't speak English and shit. And he got removed from his job, and he has to go to I think something about like language. He's got to go like do that. This is where my point of view of random shit kicks in. There's a lot of things in this culture, especially cancel culture, I don't really fuck with. I really don't like cancel culture at all. But I do have my limits when it does come to cancel culture. I feel like there's 3 things in this thing that I will actually agree with you on when it comes to cancel culture, because you gotta be way more cognizant of what the fuck you say and do in this era. And then when it comes to certain situations, especially when it comes to like gender or people's sexual orientations or people's race, you gotta be more fucking aware of what you're saying, because the crowd that you're talking at to, they don't have the time and energy for you to but what I was trying to say, they don't have a chance. You don't have that. You don't have. Well, what I mean is that you have no peace. You have no middle for that anymore. So maybe some people can still kind of get away with that shit and kind of still have a career or whatever. But I personally just feel like you gotta be more smart. You gotta be more wise to what the fuck you're saying. And I think a lot of people you still do it because it's like, well, I'm gonna just say it, let's see what happens. I think that's really what it is. It might not be that way, but I think it is what it is. So I think but this is why I feel like this. Shohei Ohtani is the best thing for baseball. I can't understand how people are still this damn ignorant to the situation that they want to always put him in. Like, I can't understand this. Like, he's the best thing for baseball. He's going to be the face of baseball. He's probably pretty much the face of baseball right now. He's the only thing that kind of will get people to come to ballparks. That's not a already marketable name like the Yankees. The Red Sox are now falling off. So I guess Red Sox, but Yankees, Red Sox, the Cubs, my team, the Cubs, they're not doing so well. So the Dodgers. It's like those are the only three marketable teams in baseball. And then you gotta look to the players and say, okay, who's the players that we could market? It's not that many. There's really not that many. Baseball doesn't have that type of energy. Now, me personally, Shohei is one of my guys. Fernando Tatis from the Padres, that's my guy. Tim Anderson from Chicago White Sox, that's my guy. Javier Baez, wish he was still a Cub, but you're a Met now, but that's still you're still my guy. Anthony Rizzo, who's now a Yankee, who used to be a Cub, still my guy. I don't hear him a lot, but I still fuck with Bryce Harper. You know, been to a couple Astro games, so of course I got a chance to see Jose Altuve. That's a beast. Carlos Correa. Those two dudes are monsters. So, Mookie Betts. Shout out to Mookie Betts, man. Dodgers, definitely. So, what I'm saying is this, man. I feel like in this country that we're in, people want to always say we need to come together, we need to push each other, we need to, love each other and all that. No, we don't. I said this last episode, but I think I miscued. No, we don't. We don't need more love in this world. I think we already got enough. I think what we need is more respect for people's boundaries and people's and shit people can't change about themselves. That is such a crazy ass thought process. Is to always try to correct people. If I can't change my race, I can't change my race. If I can't change my gender, well, you can't change your gender, but if you couldn't change your gender, if you didn't want to, let's put it like that. If you didn't want to change your gender, stop telling me I gotta, stop being a man. It's kind of like, no, that's what I am. Like, what you want me to do about it? You can't tell people who to love. You can't tell people who they love. Like, that's another thing I hate. Somebody's gay, man. Let that person be gay. You can't tell that person who to love. That's controlling their life. I don't fuck with that. I don't like when you try to control people's lives over because you are uncomfortable. When motherfucker find some level of comfort and get the fuck on. It's the stupidest shit in the world to me. So when I hear sports analysts or anybody talk about Shohei Ohtani, that's how you motherfuckers been feeling. But now that somebody like him could be the face of a league like baseball, where it's always been considered America's pastime, now you got a problem. Now he has to speak English for you to be, and that's another thing. Like, he's got to speak English. Motherfucker, did you not see Sammy Sosa? I could barely understand what the fuck Sammy Sosa was saying. I could barely understand what Sammy Sosa was saying. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. Like, and that dude was the face of the league to me. Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa. That was like my 90s. That was like 98. Derek Jeter, of course, was also there too. Like, I wasn't really like a huge Alex Rodriguez fan until he kind of like got to the Yankees. And even then, I was kind of like, I guess. I guess. But what I'm saying is to say this because somebody like him could be the face of the league, and you consider America's pastime as American as apple pie. That's what you guys always say, right? It's American as apple pie. So when you have, like, the people I named, Tatis and Mookie Betts, Tim Anderson, those are like the two best players in the league, and they're black. Tim Anderson of Chicago White Sox. I think that's the Tim Anderson I used to watch at LSU, and I really do think that's the same Tim Anderson, man. I might be tripping, but I gotta go look at it. I think that's the same Tim Anderson because he was a beast at LSU, playing baseball and football. Dude was a double sport dude, man. He decided to go to play baseball, so shout out to you, man. Mookie Betts, who was one of the best players since he was in racist ass Boston. He's been the best player in the league. It still is, with the Dodgers. But what baseball wanted was a white person as the face of the league. Here's the problem with that: the two people you had banked on, one couldn't get his team to the playoffs enough. Mike Trout, one of the best players in the league. I'm not gonna say that act like he's not, but he could never get his team to the playoffs by himself, and that's a problem. And then Bryce Harper, that's my guy. I fuck with Bryce Harper. I've known about Bryce Harper since he was, on the cover of Sports Illustrated when I was a kid. When he was in high school, and everybody was like, he's the next big thing. And then he went to I think San Diego State and was like a catcher, and an outfielder. It was killing shit there. So clearly he was deserving of the first pick of the draft when he was drafted by the Nationals. So I've always known about Bryce Harper. So he's always been one of my favorite baseball players. But you leave the Nationals and you go to the Phillies, and the Nationals win a championship literally the year after you left. That's a problem. You can't. And Philly's been in the playoffs. I don't even know if Philly's been in the playoffs since he's been there. So, or maybe he was last year. I don't remember. But, yeah. I mean, your best players, all your best players you banked on to be the guys, to be America's pastime best players are not the guys. And then not only is Shohei Ohtani on the Los Angeles Angels, he's signed to the Angels. And guess what? Your best player in the league is getting one-upped. Mike Trout. Y'all been selling us Mike Trout since Mike Trout been in the league. And I think that's damn near now going on close to 10 years. And Shohei Ohtani is killing it. 40 homers. He got an 8-1 record as a pitcher. And the stories about him. Mike Trout been hurt for most of the year. Really been irrelevant for most of the year, I should say. I don't know if he's been hurt, but I know he's been irrelevant for most of the fucking year because nobody's talking about him. And the Angels are still in the same position. They ain't really that good, but they're better than what the fuck they usually are. They usually are the last team in the division. I think they might be third or fourth in the AL West with the Astros and the Oakland A's. So your best player is getting one-upped by this Asian American. Well, not even Asian American. I can't say he's an Asian American, just Asian player. And now people are saying he's the face of the league. Oh, you got a problem with that? So my thing is this, like I said, I don't agree with cancel culture, but I feel like if you are a local announcer for a team, even if you play for that fucking team, you gotta have protocol to know. I've seen how the league has reacted to this man. I might make a joke, or maybe I need to just keep my motherfucking mouth shut before I lose my motherfucking job in my career. Because dude, I think Jim Morris was a Detroit pitcher. Was one of the best pitchers in Detroit. I think he got even his jersey retired there. And lost his damn job. Because you can't read the fucking room. You can't understand that shit don't fly no more. So my point of view, our random shit to you guys today is respect each other. Fuck saying we need more love in this world. No, we don't. We need more respect for each other. We need to respect that we can't change people. Especially if it's something like race, gender, sexual orientation. We can't change people. Stop it. Stop it, please. Because that's a battle you're going to lose. And even I'm going to go against you. Because it's just and I'm one of those that could see any point of view and be like, oh, okay, I can understand it. This is not a point of view I can understand. Because it's clearly just fucking wrong. Stop talking about this, man. Yo, you need to learn English. Well, you need to learn Japanese to talk to him. How about that? But if he said some shit like that, how would you feel? We gotta stop talking like just English is the most important, bruh. That's why people that's bilingual, people that got different languages, always get the better jobs. You know why? Because this country's not fucking just English. It's not made of all that. It's not made of just Americans. Red-blooded Americans. It's not made of that. So if you don't have that language, multiple language, you might not get the job you want. You know why? Because you are not willing to understand that. So for that, good luck with that. And I'm out.